Um, Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's video we're going to answer the activity Packet Tracer in Chapter 6 Internet ACAD. So this Packet Tracer is entitled a Skill Integration Challenge. So as you can see here, we are given the addressing table and later on we're going to refer on the table. So the objectives in this activity is finish the network documentation, perform a basic device configuration on router and a switch, and also verify connectivity and troubleshoot any issues. So the scenario in this activity is your manager is impressed with your performance in your job as a LAN technician. She would like you to now demonstrate your ability to configure a router connecting two LANs. Your task uh, includes configuration basic settings on router and switch using the Cisco iOS. You will then verify your configuration as well as configuration on existing devices by testing end-to-end connectivity. So first is, as you notice here in our topology, in our setup, there's no connectivity yet in our college router and to both switches. So later on we're going to assess on that. So first is to provide the missing information in the addressing table. Next is name the router college and the second switch class B. So first let's name this college router, and we're going to enable enter privilege exec mode and then configure terminal, then host name, which is college. Next is we'll proceed to class B switch and privilege exec mode, then config terminal, then host name is class hyphen B. So next is you will not be able to access the class A switch. So this switch is not accessible because we try to access that. So configure is locked. So we'll just focus here in router and this class B switch and in the devices. So next is use a Cisco as the user exec password for our lines. So we're going to secure all of the lines in router and in switch B, class B. So first, let's proceed to the router, and we're going to secure all of the line here. So line console 0, and then we'll set the password to Cisco, and then create a login interface, and then exit. Next is line BTY 0 to 15 lines, and then password is Cisco, then create a login interface and then exit. Next is encrypt all plain text passwords. So no, next is class as the privilege exec password. So also we need to secure the access in privilege exec mode. So in order to do that, we need to type enable secret and then the password that we want. So it says here that we would uh, assign a class password and then encrypt all the text password. So in order to encrypt all the plain text password, we need to type the service password encryption. So now that we encrypt all the plain text passwords, is we need to configure an appropriate banner message. So we need to type the banner motd command and then the message that we want to pop. So authorize personal only. So also we're going to configure it to switch. We're going to secure all of the lines here and in the access in the user exec mode and privilege mode. So we're just going to repeat what we type in the router. So our password here should be Cisco, and then create a login interface, then exit, then line pty0 up to 15 lines, and then password should be Cisco, then create a login interface, then exit. Then we will secure the privilege exec mode with the password class, and we're going to configure a banner message here. So authorize personal only. Next is to configure an appropriate configure addressing for all the devices according to the addressing table. Then document interfaces with description including VLAN 1 interface. Then save your configuration, verify connectivity between all devices. So later on, we're going to ping all of the devices to verify if there is a connectivity. Then troubleshoot, then implement the solution necessary to enable. Then let's go on top and see the addressing table. So here, what we are going to do is we're going to refer on the table in assigning the IP address and the default IP address. So let's first assign the default IP address to the router. So in order to do that, we need to type the interface gigabit 0/0. So based here on our table, the gigabit Ethernet 0/0 should have the IP address of 10.10.10.10.1. So IP address, we're going to set the IP address now, 10.10.10.1, and the subnet mask. And we're going next is we're going to type the no shutdown commands to bring the state up. And then next we're going to assign the IP address in the gigabit Ethernet /1. So the IP address should be 10.10.11.1. So we're going to set it now, 10.10.11.1, and then the subnet mask, and then the no shutdown command to bring the state up, then exit. So as you can see here in our topology setup, earlier it is not there is no connectivity established here in the college router and the switch, but now that we assign the IP address, so they should have established connection or connectivity. So if we pass forward this, so that's it. Next is we're going to assign a VLAN IP address here in the class B, since we cannot access the class A switch. In order to do that, we need to type the interface VLAN 1, and then here based on our table, addressing table, the IP address of the class B VLAN 1 should be 10.10.10.100. So IP address 10.10.11.100, and the subnet mask. And the no shutdown command to bring the state up. The next thing that we need to do is to set a default gateway here in our VLAN in our class B switch. So in order to do that, first we're just going to hover here. So it is a gigabit Ethernet /1. So this is our default gateway that we should assign. So go to IP default gateway, and then we're going to set the IP default gateway IP address. So we will not include the subnet mask since we're just assigning a default IP address. So it should be okay. Then exit and sit. So next thing we need to do is to check if the IP address of this desktop is correct with correspond to this addressing table. So let's check first the the PC student 1. So proceed to desktop tab and then IP configuration. So here in our student 1 PC, the IP address is 10.10.10.101. Let's check. Okay, it is correct. Subnet mask, and the default gateway here should be 10.10.10.1. Should be here. Should be it. This IP address. And also in this student 2 PC, it is also the same default gateway since they are connected in the same switch. So it should be 10.10.10.1. So let's check if the IP address and the subnet mask is correct. Student 2 10.10.10. Okay, it is correct. So let's proceed to the next PC. I'm sorry. Desktop tab, IP configuration. Then the default gateway here is the one that we set earlier in the switch class B. So this is the default gateway that we should enter here. So it should be 10.10.11.1. So let's check if the IP address is correct. Student 3, the IP address is here. 10.10. Okay, it is correct. And the student 4 desktop, and then IP configuration. So the default gateway here should be 10.10.10.11.1. So let's check the IP address if it is correct. So 10.10.10. And okay, it is wrong. So we're going to change the IP address. Then let's go back if we enter the correct default gateway 11.11 IP address. Okay. And lastly, we need to save our configurations. So in order to save our configuration, just going to enter the command write memory. So building configuration, okay. Also to our switch, write. You can also just write or type write, which is okay. So save building configuration. So we save the configurations, and last thing we need to do is to verify the connectivity between those devices. So we're going to ping different devices to verify the connectivity. In order to do that, we need to proceed to command prompt. So here in our command prompt, we're going to ping different devices with their corresponding IP address. So now we are in the student 1 PC. So here, and we're going to ping the devices, all of the devices here. So enter the ping command, and then we're going to ping the student 2. PC. Just going to copy here. So okay, there's is connectivity. Next is student 3. Here's the IP address and then ping. So okay, there's also established connectivity. Next is the student 4 PC. So ping the IP address and enter. So okay. So now that we verify all of the connectivity in between those devices and we assign the default gateway and that's it. So that's it for in this activity, and let's see if we manage to get it correctly. So let's check. So okay, it says here that congratulations, you have successfully completed the packet tracer skill activity. So let's see the items. So our score is 100 over 100. Then we manage all, got the correct configuration in all devices. So that's it for today's video, and I hope you learned something. And if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.